Hi, I'm Sarah and I'm going to present our paper on user perceptions of extraversion in chatbots after repeated use. When we meet another person, we immediately and automatically form an impression of their personality, which significantly influences our behavior and expectations towards that person. As chatbots are perceived as social actors, they elicit similar personality judgments. That is, users subconsciously assign chatbots a personality regardless of whether this was intended by the designer or not. Similar to human-human interaction, this personality assignment has been shown to influence attitude, expectations, and behavior, such as trust or consumer spending. However, commercially available chatbots have so far taken a one-size-fits-all approach, ignoring the potential benefits that deliberate personality manipulation and personalization may bring. A reason for this could be that systematically synthesizing chatbot personality is quite challenging. The most predominant model to describe human personality is the so-called Big Five model, which describes personality on 5 broad dimensions. In this project, we focus on the personality dimension extraversion. Human personality manifests itself in observable behavior cues. For example, choice of words or linguistic style. That is, extroverts and introverts talk differently. To systematically generate different chatbot personalities, we transferred these human behavior cues to our chatbots. Behavior cues have been leveraged in prior work to imbue voice assistants and robots with personality. However, little is known about whether verbal cues alone are sufficient to evoke the intended personality traits. We address this gap by examining 3 research questions. First, can we create different levels of extraversion in a chatbot by using verbal cues from human behavior? Second, which level of extraversion do users prefer after repeated use of the chatbots? And third, does user personality influence their preference for the chatbot personality? In this talk, we will focus on the first 2 research questions. To this end, we built 3 Telegram chatbots with different levels of extraversion. We scripted the chatbot responses and systematically varied the language based on human behavior cues as informed by psycholinguistic literature. For example, the introverted chatbot uses more formal language and a broad vocabulary with infrequent words. In contrast, the extroverted chatbot is more talkative and uses fillers, emojis, as well as positively balanced words. We situated the 3 chatbots in a stress tracking and reflection application due to the growing availability of chatbots for health-related support. As adapting chatbots to users seems particularly meaningful in long-term interaction, we asked 34 participants to interact with the 3 chatbots on their personal smartphones, each over the course of 4 days. On the first 3 days, the chatbot went through a questionnaire once a day to find out whether participants had experienced any stresses. On the 4th day, the chatbot sent a feedback report, and afterwards we asked participants to evaluate the chatbot's personality and the interaction in an online questionnaire. On the following day, participants then interacted with the next chatbot. Before the study, we pre-screened participants to ensure that our sample comprises users with low, average, and high levels of extraversion. After participants had interacted with all 3 chatbots, they completed a final post-interaction questionnaire in which they ranked the 3 chatbots. Okay, let's turn to our first research question. How did participants perceive the personality of the 3 chatbots? After 4 days of interacting with a chatbot, we asked participants to rate the chatbot's personality using a standardized human personality inventory. Our findings show that participants perceived the extroverted and average chatbots as such. However, human verbal cues were insufficient to infuse introversion. A reason for this result could be that we kept several interaction variables constant across the 3 chatbots. For example, a truly introverted chatbot might not prompt the user to complete the daily questionnaire, but only reacts if the user initiates the conversation. Before participants rated the chatbot on the personality inventory, we asked them to describe their impression of the chatbot's personality in a free text field. We systematically mapped these open personality descriptions to the Big 5 personality traits. The most salient personality traits of the introverted chatbot refer to its conscientiousness and agreeableness. For example, it was characterized as professional, formal, and understanding. The same dimensions also stood out for the average chatbot, which was mainly perceived as being straight to the point. In contrast, participants stressed the friendly, helpful, casual, and upbeat demeanor of the extraverted chatbot, thereby describing it as high in agreeableness and extraversion. Summing up, conversation designers should keep in mind that agreeableness and conscientiousness were most salient for participants. Outside of the big 5 personality dimensions, the average chatbot was often discerned as being robotic and automated. However, these differences in the perceived artificiality would not have been possible to decipher by means of a human personality questionnaire alone. Because such a questionnaire obviously doesn't ask how human-like a person is. Hence, our results suggest that human personality inventories might not be an adequate measurement tool to assess chatbot personality. We were also interested in which chatbot personalities our participants liked best. On average, participants showed the greatest desire to interact again with the extraverted chatbot. Participants' final ranking of the 3 chatbots corroborates this. While the majority ranked the extraverted chatbot first, the average chatbot was the least liked. As reasons for this ranking, participants in particular singled out the friendliness of the extraverted chatbot, thereby highlighting the importance of agreeableness for user preferences. This adds much needed information as to which personality traits chatbot designers should consider. On the other hand, our results also show that users have very individual preferences for chatbot personality. As I mentioned before, participants who favored the extroverted chatbot emphasized its friendliness and also its informal language and emoji use. These characteristics are precisely the reasons, however, why the other participants rejected it. While our results show subjective preference for the extroverted chatbot, participants disclosed more words to the introverted one. A reason for this could be that the introverted chatbot was perceived as being very professional and understanding. Summing up, our main findings were that verbal cues transferred from human behavior were insufficient to create an introverted chatbot. Second, our results indicate that chatbot personality determines user subjective preference and interaction behavior, underlining the benefits of deliberately manipulating personality. Furthermore, it became clear that one size in chatbot personality does not fit all users. Instead, users have individual preferences for chatbot personalities. And finally, human personality inventories might be inadequate to assess chatbot personality. Thank you very much for watching our video. If you're interested in our research, please reach out to us anytime. Thank you.